This week on Beacon Web News, we meet the candidates for North Adams City Council at the Public Forum. Then, we check out the ALANA Council's potluck dinner with the Latin American Society, and we meet the Political Science Club to see what they're all about. That's coming up next on Beacon Web News.
Hello and welcome to the October 25th edition of Beacon Web News. I'm Julia Teixeira. With the fall temperatures finally here, that means flu season is upon us. Vaccinations will be available today, Wednesday, October 25th in the marketplace. Make sure to bring your insurance card with you as co-pays may apply. Also today, Women's Center Wednesday will be joined by Sergeant Lefebvre to discuss safety from 3 to 4 p.m. in Campus Center Room 323. Public safety, dorm safety, personal safety will be covered, but if you wish to bring up a topic to be addressed, feel free to do so. Tomorrow, October 26th, Mass Mocha will be showing the film The Wonder Sound by Wes Sam Bruce at 5 p.m. The film takes the audience through Bruce's art exhibit, which is made of about 30 different rooms and has an experimental soundscape. After the feature film, there will be a talk back with the artist himself to discuss the creative process he went through, as well as your own work. Seats are limited, so make sure to buy your tickets as soon as you can, whether it's online at massmocha.org or at the door. Also this Thursday, October 26th, MCLA's Debate Club will be discussing universal health care at the Serenity Bar and Cafe on Ashland Street. The event starts at 8 p.m. You can contact Andrew Balargian via Office 365 for more information. Speaking of politics, the North Adams City Council Forum took place at Greylock Works just a few days ago. BWN Sam Niskern attended the event to see what the candidates have to offer. Sam?
This past Thursday, October 19th, Greylock Works was home to the North Adams City Council's forum. 15 of the 16 candidates for office attended, all but Merle Knight. MCLA students and Professor Samantha Petty's state and local campaign class acted as panelists and refreshment liaisons. After giving brief opening statements, each candidate addressed 3 topics: using the city's institutions like MCLA and Mass Mocha to its benefit, the recent water quality issues in the city, and the recent report that North Adams has the highest rate of violent crime per capita in the entire state. Marie Harpin, who is running for city council for the first time, said she was running so she could give back to the community. When asked about the water quality issue the city is facing, Harpin assured community members that the city does not have a legitimate water quality problem, but rather an accountability one.
North Adams had a pH issue due to lack of compliance over several years and lack of testing within specific time frames.
Keith Bona, who would be the longest-serving councilor if re-elected, echoed Harpin when it came to concerns about the water, arguing that the council can take up the issue of funding infrastructure improvements.
We can talk about funding if it needed to make that logistically happen faster, but infrastructure is our water problem.
Eric Buddington, who has a background in computer networking, agreed that the water quality was fine, but that the city does need to replace its sewer lines.
We're blessed with a fantastic watershed in North Adams. The Greylock Mountain has never been industrialized. We have a great clean source of water, which is usually enough for the whole city. When it's not, we have the Greylock well, which is close to here. However, there's TCE contamination in the groundwater from a long time ago that's not really being addressed, and I don't think anybody in the city is monitoring it. And I would like to pay more attention to make sure that that does not get close to the Greylock well.
Rebecca Cohen, who is also running for a first term, suggested that the city make investments in its future to reduce maintenance costs.
I think there's value in looking into technology in the future, using some of our capital budget to start looking at better upgrades, lowering costs by reducing the need for maintenance and all of that testing, possibly through some green infrastructure.
Jason LaForest, a nurse, argued that while the drinking water might be safe, the management of that water is not safe enough.
The city has a responsibility to test and report our water as required by law, and we have a responsibility to fix irregularities in our water quality immediately, not wait for the understaffed DEP surveyor to roll in 3 years after the fact and tell us we messed up.
When asked about the institutions that North Adams can use to boost the economy, Wayne Wilkinson, who was just appointed to finish the term following the resignation of Councilor Nancy Bullitt, touched upon the proposed Model Railroad Museum.
MCLA, MOCA, and many businesses in town are already collaborating to make North Adams a more vibrant city. The Greylock Works project that we're in tonight, the Redwood Motel project down the road, the proposed model railroad museum is absolutely exciting.
Answering the same question, Brian Sapienza suggested having MCLA or Mass MoCA collaborate with local businesses to find creative ways to put the city on people's radar.
For one example, I'd like to see a TV commercial like we have Bennington, Vermont has, and they promote their downtown businesses. It's a nice 30-second commercial. It's one of the things that I think that we could use here in North Adams.
Ashley Shade, who is seeking her first term on the council, argued that MCLA should be used as a resource to bring in more businesses.
MCLA has continued to develop with their Center for Science and the new majors that they're putting out. We need to use MCLA to recruit businesses to come here and say, look, we've already got a trained workforce for you through MCLA.
Clarice Vanderberg suggested ways in which MCLA and Mass MoCA could help local businesses on Eagle and Main Street to thrive.
I would like to see MCLA and Mass MoCA work together. If MCLA could do a seminar for the landlords, let them know all that's available to them to renovate these properties, and Mass MoCA maybe appropriate funds to these landlords, that would be ideal.
Scott Orr, an Arkansas native, suggested that the city keep on track with its 2030 plan.
This vision for 2030 is the path that we should be taking. As far as some of the businesses in town, if we can get some collaboration going between the businesses and the colleges, we already know when the events are coming. There's some opportunities for some restaurants and some underdeveloped land.
Then, the topic of crime came up, and MCLA alumni Kiefer Gamble touched upon the importance of youth mentoring as a preventative measure against crime.
If we teach our youth that our NAPD officers are here for them, they're here to help them, and if they need something, this is a safe place for them to go.
Benjamin Lamb, the council's current president, noted that the city needs to improve on education as well as have a drug court.
I would say further support. So we should really have a drug court here in North Adams and North Berkshire to help support these programs going forward.
Paul Hopkins, who has over 20 years of experience with the North Adams Planning Board, linked the crime rate to the opioid epidemic.
We need to do everything we can along prevention, treatment, and law enforcement.
Joshua Moran, who has served on the council for 2 terms, echoed the sentiment that youth outreach programs are essential for crime prevention.
More boots on the ground doesn't solve this problem. These crimes are systemic in nature from a lower socioeconomic demographic that we have in the city. We need to look at the left-hand side of the equation, which is prevention, through youth services and programming, such as the skate park, such as Unity, such as the Roots Teen Center on Eagle Street.
Roger Urban, who is known locally for his work in restoring the Hillside Cemetery, agreed that the crime rate was a result of the drug epidemic.
We should demand that our courts handle those who traffic this poison and death in our city be dealt with the full power of the law.
The city election is November 7th, and out of 16 candidates, only 9 will make it to the seat.
Thanks, Sam. Need a break from midterm stress? The Students' Activities Council is hosting the perfect Halloween-themed event to take your mind off the academic apocalypse and onto another, zombies. Starting at 7 p.m. Thursday the 26th, you can stop by Venable Gym to get in on some zombie laser tag fun. And do you love fashion, or are you interested in designing? Fashion Club is inviting students to join the club and get the opportunity to design their own clothes. The club shows members different techniques in fashion and ways to design. Members meet every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Bowman 319. If you have any questions, you can contact Amanda Romanelli at Office 365. This past weekend, the ALANA Club Council hosted their 5th annual potluck dinner. BWN's Karen Canella was there to speak with some of the clubs and taste some of the grub. Karen?
Thanks, Julia. I'm here in the ALANA Potluck where students came together to eat and have some fun.
Beacon Web News had the chance to visit the African, Latin, Asian, and Native American ALANA Potluck event where students of different cultures came together to eat and socialize. The event was an effort to bring the MCLA community closer together and to welcome all students to join different ALANA clubs on campus. Nick Phillips, a freshman on campus, told Beacon Web News what he enjoyed most from the event.
I love the food, I love the music, and I love how there's different cultures all coming together.
Club also told us how often he thinks ALANA should do events like these.
I think there should be one at least every weekend or so.
Jared Gonzalez, a junior in the school, spoke to us about why he thinks it's important for the school to have events like these on campus.
It really helps bring the community together. We get to understand each other on a deeper level, and we can do it in a way that's fun and safe, and we really get to learn about each other even more.
Gonzalez also told us why he thought the event was effective for the MCLA community.
It's nice to see all my peers and other people that just want to break bread with each other and enjoy.
Michaela Serrano, a senior on campus, told us why the event was hosted.
The different foods that come from different cultures is to bring everybody together and just have a big gathering, a big dinner, just sit, talk, relax, hang out with each other. So
Serrano also told us why she thinks the event was a success.
I would say this event is a success. Like, if you look around, everyone's having a good time, everyone's laughing, enjoying themselves. I bet you if you go ask someone, their stomach is plenty of full right now.
Beacon Web News was able to speak to the Latin American Society, one of the clubs that assists ALANA. Nadia Tenorio, secretary of the club, was able to speak to us about what the club does on campus and the upcoming events that they will be hosting.
LAS stands for Latin American Society. It's a club here on campus. LAS holds a lot of different events. We actually also do like fundraising for like parties that we have, and like we do bake sales, and like we sell like Spanish food.
Tenorio mentioned some of the events that LAS will be hosting soon.
We actually are holding a Halloween party October 28th. It's going to be in Venable Gym. We're also trying to do dance lessons in the upcoming months, so you guys should check that out.
Lazarus Abreu, a freshman in the school, spoke about why it is important to have clubs like LAS on campus.
It's important to have a club like LAS here so that we could learn how to include others and how to work together as a team and support each other in times of need.
Abreu also told us about some of the things he is looking forward to in the club.
Some things I'm looking forward to in LAS is learning about the Hispanic community, and not only just like where you're from, but where other people are from.
The ALANA Potluck event was a success and helped many students bond together. ALANA encourages students to participate in some clubs that are on campus, like LAS. For Beacon Web News, I'm Karen Canella.
Thanks, Karen. IGE and QSU will be hosting movie night in Sullivan Lounge on Friday, October 27th at 7 p.m. Join them in watching the Oscar-winning film Moonlight. Dance Company's annual fall show is coming up on October 27th at 7 p.m. and October 28th at 4 p.m. in Venable Theater. If you are interested, make sure to reserve your ticket in the Campus Center Marketplace. General admission will be $5, and for MCLE students, it will be $3. If you can't make it to the Marketplace to reserve your spot, you can email Jennifer Wilson at Office 365. This past weekend, FPA performed their final showings of Passing Strange, directed by Assistant Professor of Theater, Jeremy Winchester. The show, a biographical story from Stew of Stew and the Negro Problem, follows a young black man from Los Angeles who feels like a foreigner in his own country and travels to Europe in search of his artistic and personal identity. In his FPA debut, Sebastian Rivera starred as Youth. The play was choreographed by MCLA alumni Brianna Bradley, who also played the role of Mother. Now, let's go to Maggie Allen for your 7th-day MCLA weather forecast. Maggie?
Thanks, Julia. I'm Maggie Allen for Beacon Web News with your 7-day weather forecast. Thursday is going to be rainy with a high of 54, and later that night we'll have a low of 36. Don't worry about the rain, though, as Friday will bring in that weekend weather with sunny skies and temperatures reaching almost 60 degrees and a low of 40. For this weekend, we will keep up with the warm temperatures with some sun on Saturday and a 50% chance of rain on Sunday. That rain will carry over into Monday with colder temps reaching 55 as a high, which might make it a little harder to get ready for class in the morning. Make sure you have your rain jacket for your commute. No worries about the rain, though, because Tuesday calls for some sun with a high temperature of 56 degrees. That makes for a very comfortable Halloween night. Perfect temperature for trick-or-treating. To wrap up our 7-day forecast, Wednesday will be partly cloudy and reach a high of 59 degrees and a low of 42. Looks like fall weather is here to stay in the Berkshires. Back to you, Julia.
Thanks, Maggie. There are many clubs on campus worthy of recognition, and this week, BWN's Claire Harrison met with the Political Science Club for a brand new segment, the MCLA Club Spotlight. Claire, off to you.
This week on MCLA's Club Spotlight, Political Science Club.
BWN caught up with the club during their latest event, a meet and greet with the state representative candidates.
We put on all kinds of events. Tonight here we had a speaker come already for the Democratic candidate for state representative to Berkshire County. In about a half an hour we're going to have the Republican candidate come over and give her remarks.
What makes our club unique is that we're just trying to educate the MCLA students on politics, maybe students that wouldn't have originally been involved in politics, but hoping to host fun ideas to get students involved.
This club is different because it's completely bipartisan. So I mean, I haven't missed any meetings, so I can tell you that we don't get into debates related to party or anything. We don't lash each other's throats or anything. We talk about issues for the sake of issues.
So why join Political Science Club?
I would say it's a great time to come out to this. We talk about a whole variety of different issues from here in the country to a whole bunch of foreign issues as well. And really, we're all a bunch of very friendly people.
This year we're thinking about going to the Albany State House as well as potentially Washington, D.C.
Stop by the Political Science Club every Monday at 7:30 in Bowman 217.
Thanks, Claire. Spires, MCLA's literary art magazine, is holding an art contest that is now accepting any medium of work, including visual art, prose, nonfiction, poetry, and hybrid literature. Prizes will be awarded and submissions will be considered for publication in the spring edition of the Spires Journal. If you are interested, send your submissions to spires@mcla.edu by October 31st. And join the MCLA's Shakespeare Club York as they present their 26th show, The Taming of the Shrew. The production reimagines the comedy as a tragedy with an emphasis on society's treatment of women. The show is November 2nd through November 4th, and free tickets can be reserved at mclayork@gmail.com. Donations are welcome and will be donated to the Elizabeth Freeman Center. That's it for this week's. To stay updated with BWN, you can follow us on social media. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.